Hi, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School. Welcome back. Today is the official launch of our draft version of Synapse 2.0, our distance learning program. You're going to be getting another message from me, as well as 4 links to distinct and exciting and important work that we've designed and created for you by our staff. So it's a distance learning handbook, a link to our distance learning web page, a link to our SEL web page, and a link to a school updates page. Now, before you jump into this new version of school, or we jump into this new version of school, I want to preface a few things. First and foremost, we are in this together. We are experiencing an overwhelming national and international crisis, and I'm convinced that we need our schools and our teachers more than ever before. Our staff has been working harder and more collaboratively than I've ever seen them, and that's saying quite a lot. I was lucky enough to be part of sort of our takeoff 7 years ago as a school, and I've never seen people come together quite like this in our community. It's pretty impressive, a little bit overwhelming in a very positive sense too. So second, I want you to know where I stand. So I'm taking the long-term view on this whole thing. I learned that, I think, firsthand as an endurance athlete. There's been a lot of analogies kicked around that this is a marathon and it's not a sprint, but I did a lot of racing years ago, and there was only one race out of all the races I've ever done where I dropped out. And it was an endurance event, an endurance race. It was a 24-hour endurance race. I was down in the Los Angeles area in the Santa Monica Mountains. And in a 24-hour event, you have multiple disciplines to work through. So we had to mountain bike, we had to spelunk, we had to rock climb, we had to run, we had to kayak, sea kayak. And you also don't have any course set for you. You have only a compass and a map to navigate through a 100-mile course. That race, we went out pretty fast as a team. We were pretty aggressive, didn't pace ourselves. And again, we were a team, which is really what I'm going to be getting to in this analogy. We got to our mountain bike leg after the sea kayak, which was exhausting for a lot of us. We weren't paddlers. When we got on the bikes, we went out very fast, me in particular, very hard, very fast into the mountains, and it started to rain, and rain hard. It was in the winter. It's about 15 years ago. And I remember it was about 2 in the morning. Again, it's a 24-hour race, and I looked back to notice that a key teammate had dropped off. We'd lost sight, so we had to stop. And to speed up the story a bit, that teammate had just run out of gas. And he ran out of gas because we went too fast and we forgot we were a team. We ended up not making the time cutoff up ahead. We had to throw our gear in a van. They took our van back to the starting area. We limped away, cold, tired, and I believe we went to In-N-Out Burger at some point, maybe the next morning. But it was a real learning moment for me that you can't leave anyone behind, and that pacing and navigation and iteration all matter. So with that analogy in mind, I want to let you know we'll be sending a survey out next Friday, not this Friday, to seek your feedback and suggestions. This will allow me, as well as leadership, to better organize and understand your feelings, your needs, your opinions. And you know us, so we're going to make incremental improvements quickly. We are nimble. We can do that. I think we can do that better than any school. This is really a part of our DNA. But now is not the time to overwhelm teachers with your individual comments or concerns. Everybody has an inbox, I'm sure, at home, and if your inboxes are anything like ours, they're really exploding right now. So let's hold off on individual comments and feedback. And I think it's also to point out that teachers, the people you care about so much, that's very clear, they may be feeling vulnerable right now. And when I say teachers, I don't just mean Synapse teachers, but those are the ones I'm most concerned with right now. But teachers in general are in a vulnerable position. Well, let me explain why. Parents, for the first time, have unprecedented visibility and insights into daily lessons, right? Into the classrooms. Quite frankly, you have visibility into their homes, into where they live. And that is, that's real, and I want you to keep that in mind. At the same time, parents aren't really going to be able to see or experience the magic that goes on in a Synapse classroom, that stuff that special sauce that puts everything together for kids in that learning environment, all the training we do that really makes that happen. You can't see that, and that's really what matters most. So teachers everywhere could begin to feel underappreciated, and I don't want that to happen to Synapse staff. So if teachers are feeling like they're getting hit with lots of feedback, even if it's well-meaning, well-intentioned, that could actually not feel fair, and I don't think anyone wants that to happen. So I'm going to do my part to keep them motivated. So I want you to help me by asking yourself, what can you do to help our teachers feel supported, to feel loved, and feel cared for? Now, remote learning can't fully replicate the Synapse experience for your child, for the teacher, certainly for you as a parent. So what I'm going to be asking is, how can I help you, the parent too, right? That's really important to me as a head of school, and I ask myself that all the time. What can I do to support you, not only today, next week, and when we get through this, and we will, even next year? What does that look like for me as a head of school? So we're asking the right questions. I hope you're asking the right questions as well. You're going to be hearing a lot from me. We're going to start setting up schedules and more meetings online. Maybe too much, actually. I was getting coffee this morning, and my wife sort of looked over at me like, "Oh, you're still here. You're not out that door yet." So you'll be hearing a lot from me. Again, I'm really excited that we're going to present this to you today, this distance learning program. Again, it's a draft version. If you have any comments or concerns, you can always email me. You can always reach out to me. I love to hear from you. Again, be well. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Thanks.